We're back. A reminder that the next Atlanta Magic Night's on the 16th of November with Michael Boone, Junior Spano, and Mark Johnson. So come if you can. Your tickets are available online. And now, when we started Atlanta Magic Night 4.5 years ago, it was at Jerry Farber's side door. And Jerry Farber, Mark Johnson, and Joe Turner started producing these magic shows, and we never dreamed it would be like it is to now. And we're just as grateful as we can possibly be for all of you for being here. And now it is my distinct pleasure to present my partner, Joe Turner. He has been at the Magic Castle since you've seen him last. He's been in Las Vegas. He's been on cruise ships. He's been to New Zealand. He's been everywhere. And let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Joe M. Turner.
Thank you very much. Good evening. My name is Joe Turner, and let me just say thank you especially to the Red Light Cafe, to Michael and Ellen and Brian and everybody. Thank you so much for being a great home for us for the last couple of years. We don't want to go anywhere. We're staying right here. How about a big round of applause for everybody back there working? So my job tonight is pretty straightforward. For the next 45 minutes, I'm going to give you a sense of the different kinds of things that can happen in a magic show. I'm going to do that by sharing with you a number of things that kept me from dating in high school. So I'm sure you'll enjoy this very much. When I first started magic, they said I should use things that I could find around the house. So I went to my dad's chest of drawers, and he had put his change there, and I found this old silver dollar. This is a 1972 silver dollar, and the magic books all said that you should start by developing some dexterity. So you put the coin on your hand, just try to balance it first, which is hard enough, and then if you lift up the next finger and pull it down, it would flip over on your hand like that. You could do that with the next finger, and then the last finger, and then it would fall off. And I said, well, I can practice that. So you do it that way, that way, that way, that way. And it said if you kept doing it long enough, you would get very fluid. Developing dexterity, I know. They said if you do it long enough, people will clap. 44 minutes to go. Now my friends were pretty funny. They were like, well, that looks good, it's dexterous, but it's not really magic. Magic is when things vanish from one place and reappear somewhere else. And they said, oh, like if it went into my elbow and came out the other side, they said, do it again. I said, well, if I put it in my left elbow and it comes out my right, that looks like magic. And they said, well, it sort of looks like magic, like some of you apparently. They're like, because it could be going through your sleeve. You could have tunnels of fabric built into your sleeves. So you drop it off through some kind of chute and it goes to the other side. It would really look like magic if it disappeared and vanished with nothing in between, and reappeared with nothing in between. Oh, I thought I had them at that point. Like I was reeling them in, and then they were like, "Clearly, you're using," because that's how 7-year-olds start their argument. Clearly, you're using some kind of sleight of hand. You are concealing the coin somehow on your hand, your palm, your sleeve. If only you had some piece of cloth that we could put over your hand and cover all the cracks and crevices, we would know if the coin disappeared at that point, it was not by sleight of hand at all, but it had to be by clear magic. Thank you very much. They all wanted to put it with. It reappeared over here in thin air, of course. I wasn't very popular in grade school, but by the time I got to college, magic made me much more popular. Oh, Scala, that'll be good for later. All right, this is the part that the gentleman in the room will really want to pay attention to. Corner to corner. Again, fold, separate the little peaks, wrap, 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 tuck. And now you know. So there you go. A little extra educational lesson for the ladies are clapping for that more than the gentlemen. How about that? All right, so here's the thing. I'm gonna show you a variety of magic tonight. The first thing I'd like to share with you, I'll just grab it. I was told that you might have been drinking a little bit by now and that I might need some rope. So I came prepared with some rope. There's quite a lot of it here. Here is a tiny piece of rope. It's not terribly large. Sir, if you'll hold on to that, and there's no judgment implied by handing that either. I just want you to hold the first piece of rope that I got. This is a slightly larger piece of rope. This is what I would call a medium-sized piece of rope. Sir, if you'll hold on to that for me. And this is a pretty lengthy piece of rope. It's a long piece of rope. Sir, you're over here against the wall. I'm just going to hand this to you. Excellent. Please pull on these ropes. Make sure there's nothing sneaky about them. They are, in fact, hardware store, your standard Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace kind of a rope. And it was Izzy, is that correct? If you'll hold on to this for me. Very good. So in order to do this first illusion with you, which is really a demonstration of what the word illusion means, I need to borrow some pieces of rope from the audience. So if you happen to have a tiny piece of rope, just a rather small piece of rope, if you would just wad it up and pitch it up here for me right now, just toss it on up here, that would be perfect. And that was very, very good, actually. And if you've got a sort of a medium-sized piece of rope, if you just throw it on up here. In fact, there was a little anger or something behind that. Everything's good at home, right? I'm the state-mandated reporter, so if I need to do some of this, let me know. And if you've got a really, really long piece of rope, just ball it up and pitch it on up here. Just throw it on the count of 3. That was my fault, sir. Now, you can see your friends in the audience, being your eyes, your ears, your hands, they have verified that these pieces of rope are in fact 3 different lengths. There's the small, the medium, and the large. And my job, my goal for you in the next couple of moments is to create the illusion that these 3 ropes are in fact the same length. And some of you are only drinking tea or cola, so that's going to be a little more difficult for me on that. But I could take the approach that if I put the ends together at one end, and they start at the same end, and they end at the same place, see that? Then that starts to get the illusion that they're the same length. I mean, technically, if the lines start at the same place and end at the same place, they would be the same length. It's this middle part that's sort of giving away the game. I understand that, but just pretend you don't see from here down, and that's pretty good. All right, but here's interesting. If I take just the bottom of that and hide it in my hand, look at this. That's an optical illusion. It looks like they start there, go through your hand, come out the other side. It looks like there are 3 ropes all the same length. You know that they're not because you checked them out earlier. But because I'm hiding one tiny piece of information, it changes the way you see the entire situation. That's a pretty interesting thing to know. In fact, that's the first lesson of illusions, is you can't always believe what you think you see. You may not have all the information. Second lesson of illusions is this. Some illusions are more convincing than others. And there's 1, 2, and 3 pieces of rope. Thank you very much. For those wondering, there's number 1. There's rope Noose and rope C. 3 ropes, 3 the same length. Very good. Thank you very much. That's a beautiful illusion. To do these illusions for you today. I don't even need 2 pieces of rope. All I need is 1 piece of rope. So if you took Mark's advice and grabbed some tequila earlier, take a deep breath and just blow on the ends, and they melt together right in the middle, and that gives you 1 long piece of rope. Thank you. That's right. I'm going to keep doing it until you like it. Who's got a small silver hoop? If you happen to bring a small hoop, don't throw it. There's 2 ways to describe this situation. Take a look at that. You can say that the rope is going through the ring, or you can say that the ring is on the rope. I like to say the ring is on the rope. In fact, I will tie the ring on the rope so there is no risk of it coming off. So it's for your safety and mine. Now we can say that ring is tied onto the rope. I'm going to create the illusion for you that the ring is off the rope. So you can see the ring is on the rope. It is on, off. that's semantics. But that is just proof that words can also be used to deceive, which this is an election year, so remember that. Now, you thought that when I said the ring was going to come off the rope, that it might melt through the fabric of the rope and actually come off completely. Oh, that's a beautiful. Yes. Thank you. Well, now you're just encouraging me. Who would like to see the ring go through the rope one more time? Yeah. There it is. The ring goes right through the rope one more time. Hey. I already did that joke. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take the ring, we'll throw it through the air to the other side of the knot. With any luck, it will melt right back through the rope on the other side. 1, 2, 3, and it melts right back through the rope on the other side. Now, you're such a smart crowd, such a smart audience. I can tell that you know there's no way to get a ring off a rope unless you slide it off one of the ends. You have to untie it and slide it off one of the ends. That's the problem with this rope. I do not think that this is actually Lowe's or Home Depot rope. I think this is some kind of cheap import, maybe off of Amazon or something, because the ends are detachable. They come off when you least expect it. And if I have the ends over here, what that leaves me with is a big middle. There's no way to get... Thank you, sir. I agree with you. But who are we among so many? Fight the good fight. That's it, thank you. Now, there's no way to get a ring off a rope that just has nothing but middle. So there's nowhere to go unless we get the ends back on. And to do that, there is a lady in the second row gesturing, yes, is she saying, questioning her existence? Yes, it is you, ma'am. Very good. Here's the ends, here's the middle. What's your name? Helene, if you'll just say stop anywhere. That spot right there, very close to the top. That's the spot where we'll wrap the ends onto the rope and away, not behind my hands, not behind the table, right here in front of you. That's the spot where those ends will melt right back on to the rope. And now, it's pretty easy to get the ring off the rope because we have the ends. Well, I can tell from the diminishing applause in this entire, that you guys are tired of this particular illusion. So I tell you what, we didn't start with one long rope. We actually started with 2 ropes. So we'll just take these scissors here, very sharp, and give it a cut and go back to 2 ropes. Oh my gosh, I forgot, but you're right. We actually started with 3 ropes. You may recall we started with 1, 2, 3 ropes that were all the same length. Except for, yes, I see you, Greg, you're gesturing. We didn't start with them the same length at the very, very beginning of this ordeal. In fact, they were 3 ropes that only looked like they were the same length. But you remember this hoop, if I bring the ropes back through the hoop, something magical happens. And those 3 ropes go back to being 3 different lengths. A beautiful illusion, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Well, this being Halloween, it only seems fitting that we might engage in a little bit of role play. I mean, that's what Trick or Treat is all about. So I've got something that I'm going to need some help from the audience. Some of you are going to help me with this, and there's going to be 5 of you. So there's going to be room for 5 people to come up and help me. Look at that. Suddenly the artwork is very interesting to everyone in the room. Oh my gosh, I hadn't noticed that painting before. That is so good. That is so excellent. Oh, would you mind helping since you're right here in the front row? Thank you, sir. You seem like you might be willing to help. And how about Jamie? Could I ask you to help me, Jamie? Come on, Jamie. And how about, oh my gosh, people's eyes are rolling out of their head tonight. Look at that. Do you need to pick those up and stick them back in? That's good, very good. How about the gentleman here with his hands on his legs, sir? If you'll come help me just for a moment. And how about, I see a gentleman with a striped shirt. I can't make out his face, but he's on the end, so that would be very convenient. If he would come, yes, sir, the one question. Come on up onto the stage. Give them a big round of applause. Let's see who I've got. I've got Greg, come right over here. And I've got Jamie, who I met earlier, if you'll stand right there. And your name? Keith, if you'll stand next to Jamie. And this is Hal. Hal, if you'll stand right there. Oh, I've heard about you. Very good, Hal. And I need one other person who might be willing to help. And I see a volunteer in the back waving her hand right there. If you would please come on up. Give her a big round of applause, too. And we'll find out who she when she makes it up here, we'll set this aside. And what's your name, person coming from the back?
Sonu.
Sonu?
Yes.
Sonu. Excellent. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I think I have a stereo that you made. That's awesome. Thank you. Here, come on up, Sonu. Excellent. Watch your step. Excellent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Ladies and gentlemen, a murder has been committed. A murder has been committed. A woman is dead. And these people are the suspects. Tonight, for your entertainment, a murder mystery. Woo! I don't know who did it, but I do know that one of the people who did it, the murderer, will have used this, the bullet. We have the ace, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of spades, but the ace of spades is the bullet. And this is the one that will indicate which of these people is the murderer. So if I could ask you, Sonu, to just take those and mix them up in any order that you would like. And here's how we will find the murderer. With that rope from before. But it's not just any rope, ladies and gentlemen. This is, in fact, the Hangman's noose. And once you've tied it tightly, it becomes an enchanted noose. And it will only collapse on the throat of the killer. If I could ask you just to hold that. Thank you very much. And we'll just we'll work our way down. So if you'll just take the top card, don't look at it, just hold it up against your body. You take the next one. You take the next one. You take the next one. You take the last one. Now I'm going to let them look at the card and now put it somewhere where I cannot see it. Somewhere where I cannot see it. A pocket under the shoulder of your shirt. If you don't have a pocket, that would be fine. Just tuck it in the waistband. That is fine. And what we'll do is start with our first person. This is Sonu. Sonu was our victim's childhood friend. But things didn't ever go as well for Sonu as they did for the victim. So we'll see if the jealousy became too much. Sonu, I'd like you to hold each end of the noose and pull it as hard as you can. Just pull, and does it collapse? No, it does not. It is tight, so if you'll just let go, let go, let go. Sonu, thank you. You may let go. Thank you. I'm sorry, I must have switched into German without thinking. I'm sorry. Halt! Halt! Stop! Quit! No more. That, according to the mystery noose, this would say that you are not the murderer. So let's just take a look at your card, and let's see. She has got the 2 of spades. She is not the murderer. Sonu, you can go back to your seat. An innocent woman, ladies and gentlemen. But that brings us to Hal. Hal was our victim's college lover. And he always wondered what might have been. And then when our victim left and moved on to other pastors, Hal may have been wondering. So Hal, if you'll hold on to each end of the noose, just give it a pull and we'll see. Anything? No? Well, then I would say the noose has indicated that you do not have the mystery bullet. Let's take a look at your card. Up the sleeve, very appropriate, sir. It is the 3 of spades, not the mystery bullet. Our college lover can go have a seat. Thank you very much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that leaves us with quite a rogues gallery. We have Keith, who was the jealous co-worker. We have Jamie, who was the crazy cousin in line for an inheritance. And we have Greg, the random street thug. Any one of them could have been guilty. Let's just take a look and see. It is tied tightly. If you will, Keith, hold one end in each hand and just give it a little pull. Nothing. Oh, that is. If you will, please reach into your pocket and pull out the. It is the. Also not our murderer. You may have a seat. Innocent man, back to your seats. That leaves us with two: the random street thug, the ne'er-do-well, rapscallion, street hoodlum, or the crazy cousin who is the only person left in the will along with our victim. Let's just ask our crazy cousin, please take one end of the noose in each hand, hold it up in the air and pull, and let's just... It has collapsed indeed! The noose has spoken! Hand us the bullet! Show the world! Show the world she is guilty, ladies and gentlemen! You can go back to your seat. The thug is innocent. Let's see it. Yes, give them all a big round of applause for participating in Mystery Theater 2018. That was very good. This is I'm sensing disappointment. Some of you wanted it to be Keith, I can tell. Some of you wanted it to be every other person, not the thug. I think you were the one. They were all sympathetic to you, so it's a good thing that you were innocent. I'm also sensing that some of you are jealous of my friends who were able to participate. They came up on stage and actually participated in tonight's show. And you're thinking to yourselves, if only, Mr. Magic Guy, if only you would let me participate in the show as well. Well, I've got something for you now that you're going to be able to participate in right from your seat. In order to do this, though, you're not going to have to get up and come on stage. You're just going to stand right where sit right where you are. And with any luck, you can experience and make this illusion happen right where you're sitting. This, it's not hypnosis. I know, I heard the worry. It is not hypnosis, although you gentlemen might want to get your wallets out now, just in case, and it speeds up the collection. Now here's a very interesting illusion, and all I need you to do is stare at the center of this disc. Try not to blink, but just stare at the center of the disc, and using only the power of your mind, see if you can cause the disc to rotate. And just, oh my gosh, you're such a... Okay, that's a Black & Decker screw. It's not really psychic power, but we'll give it a try. Stare at the center of the disc. Try not to blink. As you stare at the disc, I will count backwards from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep staring. In a moment, I'll stop the music. When I do, I just want you to look right at my nose. And if all is gone as planned, you will see an amazing illusion. We'll do that on the count of 3. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Whoa, clap if you saw something weird. So everybody else. About 2/3 of the audience is able to see that on the first try. What did you see? If you saw it, what did you see? It looks to about 2/3, maybe up to 70% of the room, like my head is shrinking down on my neck. It looks like it starts regular head size, grapefruit, orange, peach, and further, all the way down. Now, here's the thing. We all know that it really didn't shrink, but it looked darn good. That's a really cool illusion. Now, I will tell you that as a performer and speaker, I get to go all over the country and the world even. And a lot of the conferences I speak at, they put my bio on the website beforehand, so people know I'm a magician before I ever get there to talk about the other stuff. And so there will be a woman who comes up to me, not always a woman, but often a woman, who will come up to me. Not the same woman, by the way. There's not a woman following me from conference. It's different women at every... Well, that's not even better, is it? Maybe we should just... She'll say to me something like this, well, Joe, if you're such a great magician, why can't you just snap your fingers and make 15 pounds disappear? Which seems like a fun thing. So I thought about that, and I said, well, I could have these for sale after the show. And so you could just get one of these, carry it with you to the office, or to work, or to play, to church, whatever, grocery store, out on the highway, I don't know. Spin this thing, and literally the pounds just shrink down, they melt off. Everything is tight as it was in college. Just in time for Christmas, ladies and gentlemen, $29.95. There's a lady in your life who will love you for this. Now, I'm going to try it again, but only because on the second try, it usually works for over 90% of the room. So now that you know what's coming, it works for over 90%. I'm going to step back so everyone has a good angle. Just Just want you to stare right at the center of the disc. Try not to blink. Try not to blink. Stare right at the center. And this time we'll give it a little bit longer. We'll go from 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep staring. In a moment, I'll stop the disc. And when I do, I just want you to look right at my nose. So with any luck, we'll see an amazing illusion. On the count of 3, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. I know. Clap if you can see it that time. More people, definitely. Yeah, usually it's the guys that ask about that one. They want to look like they've been working out and they're all buffed up and all of that. So if any of you guys think you might have a use for one of these devices in your personal or private life, have them for sale after the show. $79.95. No, and all fun. I mean, that we're just having a couple of good laughs, but the main thing about this for you to remember, that I would love for you to remember, is this. You looked at this and you looked at me and it made it look like I was getting smaller. Then you looked at this and you looked at me and it made it look like I was getting bigger. And we know intellectually that neither of those things was true, but it was what you paid attention to first that changed the way you saw me. And that is a powerful, powerful principle, because it applies not just to fun magic tricks, but to everything that we pay attention to. So I'm going to challenge you to be discerning and thoughtful about the things that you pay attention to, knowing, as we've proven tonight, that what we focus on affects how we see things. So that's good news. All right, thank you. That's a deep thought from a stupid magic crowd. Okay. Well, we're going to shift gears now. We've been doing this sort of visual magic, but I think it's time that we shift into something a little bit different. I'd like to share with you something that relates to another branch of the illusion arts, and this is what we call mental magic or mentalism. And my friend Mark is an expert practitioner of mentalism. I am not as experienced, but I am learning. And I should tell you up front that personally, as a former physics major, I don't actually believe in the formal phenomenon of telepathy. Like, I can actually read your minds. I don't believe you can think that even, but I do believe in this. I do believe in strong theater. And the concept of mind reading is a very strong premise for the theater. I do believe in influence. There are people that can walk into a room and by virtue of their stature or their poise or their voice or something about them, they can influence other people. People want to follow them. They believe, they connect with them and they're influenced by them. So I do believe influence is a real thing. Even if I can't measure it, I can tell you when I see it. And then I do believe in another thing, and I would say that probably many of you in this room, just from what I've seen already and heard, I believe in intuition. And there are some people who, for whatever reason, pick up on things that others do not. My wife certainly falls into this category. She can hear what is said and know what is meant, even before I know what I meant. That's a silly, but it's true. I mean, they read between these lines in a way that most of us don't. And ladies and gentlemen, I would argue that when influence meets intuition, that's a good recipe for the experience of mind reading. And so I'm going to attempt to do that now. I'm going to attempt to exert some influence on someone in this room. Someone in this room. So in order to do that, I've come prepared with a plastic rack. No, the only purpose of this plastic rack, ladies and gentlemen, is to hold these 10 cards. And having done this before on a table, and knowing that you cannot see a tabletop from down there, this rack holds the cards up so that you can see them all at the same time. So it will serve the function of a table. And I've got some red cards here. How about if I ask this lady right here to take these reds? Just please feel free to mix those up. And then we've got, let's see, there is a blonde woman sitting on the second row, right there. You don't have to come up just yet. What's your name? Debbie, it's nice to meet you. I'm going to give you these, Debbie. If you'll mix those up. And I think Debbie will be the one, hi everyone, will be the person that I try to influence. Debbie, so the first question is a freebie. It's not, you can see the symbols on there. They're not jacks, clubs, hearts. They're just geometric shapes made with simple lines. And they are identical. You have the same shapes that she does. Debbie, should I use for myself the red cards or the blue cards? It is up to you. And you have the blue cards? I'll come get those blue cards. I'm going to put them in an order that I hope I can influence you to match. Let's see. In order to do this, I will need to ask you some questions. Debbie, are you native to Atlanta? You are not, okay. Let's see on this one. Well, if you're not native to Atlanta, where are you originally from? Illinois. Up here. Further to the north. What part of Illinois are you from? Southern Illinois. What's the name of the town in Illinois that you're from? Granite City. How about this? What is the name of the street in Granite City where you were from? Riviera. I'm going to have to try this a different way. And what city do you live in now? And what is the name of the street in McDonough that you live on? And what is the house number? I'm just kidding. That would probably not be a good idea. I am going to go with this. I'll put this here. Excellent. This is the order I will attempt to influence you to match. Let me take these. I won't change the order, but I'll let you decide where it goes. Should this one go in square 1, 3, 5, 4, or 2? Someone else said 2. Who was it? Who else was it that said 2? You have very good intuition. Okay, the next one. Should it go in 1, 3, 4, or 5? 4. Okay, I just want to point out that 3 out of 5 is still awesome. Let's take the next one. This could go in 1, 5, or 3. 1. This one could go in 3 or 5. 5. Now, don't tell me this one. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, you had a free choice with all of these others. It seems like it would only be fair to give you the option to put this. I'll let you trade it with any of the ones that you've already put in, or you can go straight into 3. Straight into 3. Ladies and gentlemen, would you agree that she had a completely fair and free choice of all of the places that she wanted to put those in? Did you feel influenced in any way? Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I don't believe in mind reading, but I do believe in strong theater, and that's why you will see that we have a perfect. Thank you very much. All right. In music terms, that would have been the ballad. So now it's time to pick the energy back up again just a little bit. So here's what we'd like to do. Everyone in your mind, if you've ever been to Vegas, I want you to give me an oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What did you do in Vegas? You went there to Gamble. Okay, very good. Good. Went there to help them build some more casinos. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you may have noticed that on the stage, since before I began, is a black envelope. It's a very mysterious black envelope. Do you know what makes it mysterious?
You don't know what's in it.
Oh, no. It has a question mark on it, so we know it's mysterious. It's very mysterious. It's been up there the whole time, and it's there for a reason. We're going to talk about going to Las Vegas, Nevada. You may recall, as you heard people say moments ago, that one of the reasons that people go to Las Vegas is to gamble. And they go to these casinos. And some of the casinos, there's 100 casinos, there must be. Some of them no longer exist. They've been torn down. Famous casinos like the Sands, Frank Sinatra Land, and then there's all kinds of new casinos and renamed casinos that are being put together all the time. I made a list. Took a post-it notepad and made a list of all the casinos that I could think of. Tropicana, New York, Excalibur, the Sands, as I said before, Aria. Let's come out of the audience and let my friend here on the end, what's your name? What's your name? Toby. Do you ever go to Las Vegas to gamble? Toby, you can see all the different casino names that are there. Yes, I want you to hold up one finger, just reach in there, pull down somewhere in the pad, and look at the name of the casino. Don't say it out loud. Is it a casino that you can remember? Can you put your glasses down if you need to? You can remember the name of that casino. Excellent. Don't forget the casino. Later on, we're going to ask you what casino that we've gone to visit. In fact, we can ask you, what was the casino that you chose? The Bellagio. Oh, that's a nice one. The Bellagio was very nice. What's your name, ma'am? Susan, have you ever been to the Bellagio?
Yeah.
You've been, isn't it beautiful? You know, all the Chihuly glass on the ceiling when you go in? And let's say, imagine that we're VIPs and we're walking up to the Bellagio and they roll out the red carpet because we're VIPs, and we're going to go to to play some games. Now, there's tons of games in these casinos. How many of you are experts at gambling in casinos? I am not. I can do a lot of stuff with cards, but I am not very good at gambling in casinos. However, I do know that there are games. One of the games is called craps. How many of you play craps? Oh, someone in the, like 4 people. Okay, well, maybe you've learned something that I don't know. What about the lady on the end against the wall? Your name? Beth. Beth, I should have known. I see you there. Beth, imagine you've got a pair of dice, and you're rolling the dice. What number did you roll at the craps table? What did you roll? Yeah, there's 2. There's 2. So it can be a number from 2 to 12, I guess. So what number did you roll? You rolled, what do they call it? Boxcars? Is that boxcars? So she rolled a 12. Excellent. So there's other games. There's, what's the one with the wheel and the little, the roulette wheel. The roulette wheel. I see a gentleman who with right there with the beard and the jacket, and he leaned over and he leaned back. What's your name, sir? Wayne. You ever play roulette?
Yeah, that's my favorite.
That's your favorite. Okay, so you know you're going to pick a number, and it's from 1 to 36. And what number did the ball land on when you played?
00.
Oh, you landed on 00, which is neither red nor black. It is usually green. I hope everybody bet on green for Wayne. So he picked 00. That's excellent. So not 1 to 36, but the 00. And then let's see, I need someone, how about the lady next to you? What's your name? Karen? Karen. Karen, I got to ask a question to you. I'm going to test your intuition. I'm going to make a prediction. It uses black magic. write a word. My question for you, it was Karen. Karen, I want you to think of a word in the English language. A word that you use every day. Do you have any idea the word that I've written as my prediction, yes or no? No. That is correct. I didn't say I was great at mind reading, but that was pretty good. Actually, I feel like you have excellent tuition, so can I ask you to help me on stage? Give her a big round of applause as she comes up on the stage. Come on up, Karen. What part of town are you in? Snellville. Everybody's somebody. And most of Snellville is here tonight, apparently. That is very good. And if I could ask you just to have a seat, do you play cards well? You do not play cards well. That's excellent. That is excellent. That is, well, just lean against it if you must. That is fine. I have a pack of cards, and we'll take these out so you can see. You know they all have values from ace to 10, and red and black, and the red ones are the hearts and the diamonds, and the black ones are the spades and the clubs. So the king of spades, ace of hearts, you know what these are. So you're going to make a decision for us because you're about to play poker. So I'd like you to take the cards and split it about half in each hand. About half in each hand. And on the count of 3, I'm going to snap my fingers. And you're going to drop some of the cards just flat on the floor. We're going to get rid of them completely. So don't let me influence you. This is completely your choice. 1, 2, 3. Just drop half of them from one hand or the other. All of them from one hand. So you're saying goodbye to those. So take those and split them into 2 packets, one set into each hand. And we're gonna do this again. I want you to just relax, and using your intuition, I want you to drop all of the cards in your left hand or all of the cards in your right hand onto the floor when I snap my fingers. 1, 2, 3. So we are left with these. Why don't you split those up a little bit more? So you got just, very good. And last but not least, I'm going to count and snap my fingers, and you'll drop half of those cards onto the floor. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. So that's just left you with a handful of cards. We'll just take a look and see. We've got a couple of reds, a couple of blacks. I'm going to ask you just to touch one of those cards. You want the one at the very bottom. I'm going to just hand it to you. I don't want you to look at it just yet. Just put it on your leg. And she could have had a 3 or a 7 or another 3, but she's got one card. We'll just drop this down. I'm going to imagine that you were playing poker and you had an inside straight and you needed one card to win the game. What is the card that you've chosen as your lucky card? The 6 of spades. That was very well done. You can go have a seat. How about a big round of applause for Janice? You may recall that I said that in the envelope with mystery there was a prediction. This says, ladies and gentlemen, that we were going to go to Las Vegas and we were going to visit the Bellagio, which is the casino you were thinking of, wouldn't you? And they were going to roll out the red carpet. But then we were going to play some games. We were going to play craps and roulette. And in craps, it says that we were going to roll a 12. And in roulette, we were going to roll a 00. Oh, I know, but what's more, isn't it that when we played poker, your lucky card was going to be the 6 of spades. And that is a successful trip to Las Vegas. Thank you. Did you guys have a good time tonight? Yeah, I got one last thing to share with you. Oh, I heard someone go, "Aww." That's because you remember what it was like when you were a little kid to get a balloon. Do you remember how fun that was? It seemed like anything was possible. It's the best thing ever. There's no technology really involved with this, but it made you feel like you could do anything. It felt like the future was wide open. Of course, as we get older, it seems like some of those ideas that we had as kids about what the future could be like get taken away from us. And maybe life deals us a difficult hand from time to time. Or maybe it feels like there are forces in play that are trying to make us think less of each other, to divide us. But that's why we have things like the theater, and why we have things like magic. Because with any luck, ladies and gentlemen, magic can lift us back up where we want to be. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joe Turner. It was lovely to entertain you tonight. I'm going to turn it back over to my friend Mark Johnson.
A big hand for Joe Turner. Jim Driscoll and Mark Mercer. Thank you for coming to Atlanta Magic Night. We'll see you next month. Please drive safely and happy Halloween, everybody.